What's going on, everybody? This is the comments section. I don't even know what number we're on. 18, maybe? Something like that? Feel like 18. I don't know. It'll be written down. Okay, so first up, Gary Lagstrom. Hi, Justin. It's Michelle. I tried posting the Progressive commercial that was based on my Gary called Game Show Gary, and they were deleted immediately. Didn't know if that was you or your channel doing it. I guess copyright infringement makes sense. Sorry about that. Anyway, here's the link. If someone posts a link on my end or whatever, it gets held and I have to like approve it or whatever. And I approve like 99% of everything that comes in. You know, if there's anything like with cursing or any of that kind of thing, 99% of the time I approve it. So, and if it were you, I would, you know, I mean, there's certain people that I just, if it comes in and I recognize the name, I approve it. You know, so anyways, I didn't see anything, but it could have been, you said it got deleted immediately. That could be YouTube doing their thing. That's happened before. People have asked like, hey, where'd my comment go? And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I truly don't know what you're talking about. So I don't know, you know, I don't know how, it's not my platform. So I don't know how it all works. But anyways, I guess I think there's a longer version too. I'll look for it. In the meantime, enjoy. Synopsis. The host of a competitive game show called Smart Off welcomes the audience back from a commercial break with waning enthusiasm. He introduces Gary, a contestant who has already won 3 cars, 2 motorcycles, a boat, and an RV. Gary assures everyone that he just bundled insurance for those items with his home insurance from Progressive, so his insurance rates aren't as bad as the host might think. Flo and Jamie sit in the audience and cheer Gary on as he continues to answer every question correctly despite not letting the host finish any of the questions. All right, let's check this out.
And we welcome back Gary, who's already won 3 cars, 2 motorcycles, a boat, and an RV. I would not want to pay that insurance bill.
Oh, I have Progressive, so I just bundled everything with my home insurance. Saved me a ton of money.
We love you, Gary!
You don't have to buzz in. It's not a question, Gary. On March 1st, 1810,
Frederick Chopin,
collapsing in 226,
the Colossus of Rhodes,
Louise Dustman.
Brahms' Lullaby, or Friegenlied.
When will it end?
Not today, Ron.
Nice. All right, cool. That's funny. Yeah, Progressive. They've had lots of good commercials for a while. Yeah, cool. All right, so there's that. All right, what's next? What do we got next? Kevin emailed me. He said, "Hi, Justin. I decided to send you an email on the subject rather than posting a comment because I think it might be a little bit too touchy. So what I've been thinking is that," to which I responded about, but I'll get to that in a minute. So what I've been thinking is that Geddy has hearing loss that has gotten to the point that it is affecting his vocals, mostly the tone. Not talking about the Geddy warble or the Geddy squeak. I think age definitely caused those things. But I noticed that he often sings with a slight murkiness to his voice that reminds me of the speaking voice that you commonly hear from those that are hard of hearing. Do I have that? My guess is that his bass and keyboard playing stays at a high level because he probably has quite a bit of muscle memory stored up, and it's possible that he hears those sounds better than he does his singing voice. Just wondering what you might think about this. And I said, and then he said, if you feel it's okay to discuss, comment, video, you know, all that kind of thing. I said, I replied, I don't think this is touchy at all unless the person hearing it is sensitive, which from my experience is totally possible from some Rush fans. So, yeah, because, yeah, yeah. I know enough now to get it, and I see that's not going to change. I still get it to this day where I just get comments where I'm just like, you guys are so defensive about, you know, this thing. It's kind of like a sports fan, you know, it's kind of like a sports fan where it's like, you just insulted my favorite team and this is my life. And it's like, there's more life. You know, whatever. Sorry. You know, anyways. Okay, so hearing loss. I mean, obviously, I can't tell that. Does he have hearing loss? He probably does. Yeah, he probably does. Of course, he probably does. I mean, I know that I've gotten tested twice. My ears tested twice, And we're talking a while ago, so I wouldn't even know what it is now. We're talking, last time I got them tested was probably like, did I get them tested when I got my in-ears? It's possible. So that would have been 2011. It's possible, but I know that I got them tested at Northeastern. I feel like I got them tested at Northeastern twice when I lived in Boston. Once to get custom earplugs. So I took a class at Berkeley. I think it was psychology. It was like a gen ed class. And the teacher said, okay, for one of the tests or exams or whatever, he was like, you can either, I think it was the midterm or something. He was like, you can either take the test or you can go and get custom earplugs from Northeastern. It's $80 or $100 or whatever. You know, you're all musicians. You need to do it. You know, he made it just like, hello, you need to do this. Just go and I'm giving you this out. Go and do it. So, you know, everybody did it, right? So I have them. I still, you know, I carry them around on my keys in this little like pill jar. I've had this, you know, since 2000. When did I take that class? 2004, 2003 or 4. And I almost never use them. I actually used to. When I was in that Dave Matthews tribute band, I used to use them sometimes. I could always tell. I could tell now, like if I know my ears are gonna ring tomorrow, which I can't even tell you the last time that's happened. It's really been many years since that's happened. But they're custom. Let's see, do they even fit anymore? Yeah, they do. And it lowers it by. They have different like filters in them. And this lowers everything by what, 15 dB or something like that. Anyways, I have them. You know, you never know when you need them, and they fit right in this case. It's perfect. Totally perfect. Okay, so sorry, I need to focus and get to his email. Affecting his tone. Okay, so yeah, he's got the warble and the squeak, which he thinks has to do with age. I would think that this would have to do with age also, right? I mean, that's the factor. With time doing this comes age, but also these other things like hearing loss. That's just going to happen. Slight murkiness to his voice that reminds me of a speaking voice. Murkiness. The things that I know about people that are hard of hearing is that they yell. You know, they're loud. They tend to be louder. And obviously when you talk to them, they don't know what you're saying. So I that's what I don't think too much about. I just think that, yeah, it probably has to do with age and age. You know, your voice changes, you know, as you get older. That's just what it is. And that's probably one of the things. His voice changed. People are so freaking defensive about this guy's voice. It's nuts. You have no skin in the game except you like the band, and that's fine. It's not like I don't like them also, but it's just like, you know, yeah, his voice changed and it's not as good. That's it. You know, and it's not that it's like, you know, when you get older, you just need to change. I think of like old blues guys like Buddy Guy or whatever, right? And you listen to some of his songs. You ever hear his tune Done Got Old? He did the song Done Got Old on this album that I really like. And you know how he's singing great, but he's singing with his current voice, which is, it was appropriate for his current voice. Where it's harder for a band like this, or like a band that just has material where they're doing their old material and it's like, you had a different voice then. That's just what it is. You know, what are you going to do? This is where genres like blues or jazz have a one-up on rock and different genres that maybe even singer-songwriters, where it's like, no, you should sing, you know, like, we know the song like this. That's what we want to hear. Singer-songwriters can probably adjust also. But rock bands, that's just a lot harder. That's just not, because people want to hear it how they want to hear it. So that's kind of tough, but that's what it is. You know, it's just the reality. So, okay, so there's that. All right, what's next? What else I got? Okay, this is from The Resonance, Part 1, Edwina. Matteo Stenberg, what's going on? My response to your question, who is this for, is who cares who it's for? Why does art have to have an audience? Why can't something just exist as a piece of art? How is it selfish to anyone to self-promote, produce, and publish a piece your collective has worked on and put so much personal strife and raw personality into? Totally valid, it's not for you, but it's important to remember that they did indeed demo this and perform this live, and this isn't just random noise. And plenty of it comes across that way, very much on purpose, but it is orchestrated noise. I've always adored the way you can really feel the time shifting between the parts, since many are played at a very steady pace, but are just at different tempos. They were certainly amateur musicians. Okay, that's important to note, because amateur musicians are not doing things specifically on purpose because they don't have the skill. That makes sense, right? Okay, anyway, sorry. But they were not amateur artists. Okay, they were certainly amateur musicians, but were not amateur artists. This is work, and a work worth just sitting back and listening to and letting yourself laugh at the silly bits and really feel the creepy bits. Okay, so let's break this down a little bit. Who cares who it's for? Not me, I don't care. Why does art have to have an audience? It doesn't. There's zillions and zillions and zillions. There's a zillion people you've never heard of that are on the internet and not on the internet who, you know, don't have an audience, right? Why can't something just exist as a piece of art? You make it, it exists. I have no power on that, right? How is it selfish to anyone to self-promote, produce, and publish a piece your collective has worked on and put so much personal strife and raw personality into? I mean, you know, it's your thing. You know, it's just, it's selfish because it's, I mean, it is and it isn't, but my point in this, my argument, I could see both sides, you know, and I'm definitely devil's advocate, but, you know, what I'll say in the one argument is, because you're like, me, look at me, me, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me, right? And that's kind of selfish, right? Hey, look at this amazing thing that I made. You're like asking for a trophy, right? Look at this incredible thing that I made. And it's a piece of art. It doesn't, that may be nice, but it doesn't feed somebody. It doesn't house somebody. You know, there are kind of, you know, you see how art and the world is going, and we're getting, you know, there are just bigger things that need to be addressed than, you know, people and their art. I mean, you know, those are the people that tend to be like the narcissists, you know, where it's like, and I used to be like that. I get it. I definitely get it. But at some point, you have to be like, nobody gives a shit about this. You know, there are people on here that are like, you should do bass playing videos. And it's like, yeah, I did for years. And nobody gave a shit about those videos. So maybe they would now. Maybe. Probably not. I bet you. Probably not. But, I mean, I could certainly do it again. I should probably just re-upload what's already on the channel, not have it, you know, like just like a duplicate or something like that, and see what actually happens. You know, but ultimately it's, you know, it's like people don't, you know, it's whatever. It's whatever. Totally valid, it's not for you, but it's important to remember that they did indeed demo this. I mean, the recording sounds like a demo, frankly. But so, I mean, you know, and perform this live, that's fine. And this isn't just random noise. I mean, kind of sounds like it. I'm not saying that they didn't have some kind of structure or whatever, but kind of is. Plenty of it comes across that way, very much on purpose, but is orchestrated noise. I've always adored the way you can really feel the time shifting. Okay. Certainly, they are certainly amateur musicians, but they were not amateur artists. Yeah. I mean, it's whatever. It's for somebody, and if that is for you, that's fine. You know, I mean, I don't care. I don't care. It's just not for me. And you say that much, like, not for you, that's fine. So, you know, it's what it is. Okay. Oh, look at this. Speaking of bass stuff that nobody cares about, I did this forever ago. This is probably from 2017 or 18 or 19, only because that was in my first house. General Lau 1554, what's going on? Your vocals have a nice tone, not fatiguing to listen to. Wow, thank you. This is on a bass cover of Mr. State Trooper. A bass cover, a Bruce Springsteen cover. Sorry, this is on a Bruce Springsteen cover where I'm just playing bass and saying Mr. State Trooper. Cool. All right. That's on the channel, if anybody cares. Okay, so the comments section number 16. Oh, so we're on 17 or 18 or something like that, maybe. Okay, Dionysus AIS, what's going on? I'd like to hear you elucidate more, elucidate more on the easiness or difficulty of writing good songs. If I understood you correctly, it's just a numbers game, and that by sheer songwriting volume, a good song will inevitably emerge out of tyranny of will. My apologies, but that's not completely satisfying for me. Oh, I guess I have work to do, don't I? I'm convinced there's more to it than that. Well, yeah, you need to know how to write a song, but also if you just keep writing songs, you're going to learn how to write songs, you know, because you're going to probably want to try and get better at it, right? So you need to understand things like song structure and form and harmony and melody and relationships like that, intervals, all of that. But ultimately, the more you write, the better you're going to get at it. At base, it's that easy, right? At surface level, it's that easy. So that's probably why, I don't remember exactly what I said, but that's probably what I was saying and what I mean. Like, yeah, yes, it's a numbers game. If you keep writing, you're going to eventually write a good song. You're going to write a song that connects with more than just you. So what else is there more, thinking about like concepts, like whatever your concept is, whether it's like a lyrical concept or a harmony or melody concept, whatever that is. You can write about anything, like to me, like when you come up with a concept or whatever, it puts what you can work in more in a box, which, it gets away from, it sets parameters which will help in your creativity, in my opinion, because if it's just like, oh, I could do anything I want, then people are like, I have writer's block. I don't know what to write about. But if you set parameters, then you have an assignment, and it's like, okay, let me do this, and that could come out sounding like homework, like an exercise. That's what I mean to say. It could come out sounding like an exercise, or it could come out sounding really cool, or something that you can work on, edit, and flesh out, but I never had anything like writer's block, like at all, ever. Because there's just it's kind of like, I couldn't tell you last time I was bored. Like I feel like I was bored more when I was a kid. And then as I got older, I just never got bored. Like there's so much you can do. You have so many options, like it's like do anything. Just try something else. Okay, listen to a song that you like and try and write something off of that. Maybe take a riff, like transcribe a riff that is in some song that you like and try messing around with it, change it somehow, like do some, like there's a million different things that you could do to write a song, to work on a song. Take 4 chords that are like the most common chord progression in all pop music or whatever, and write 10 melodies on it, 10 different melodies on it. There's just so many different things. Take those changes and speed up the progression or elongate the progression, meaning like each chord change is not just like every 2 bars or every 4 bars. Make it every 8 bars. Make stagger it. Do something, just it's all just like, that's just like formula, song structure stuff. That's just, stuff like that. There's a million ways to do it. Good song will inevitably emerge out of tyranny of will. That's not satisfying to me. Yet that sentence is hilarious. My apologies, but that's not completely satisfying to me. It's just like, wow. That's why I said, I guess I have some explaining to do, as if it's my job to explain to you, you know, like to satisfy you. Like, oh, my bad. Anyways, I'm convinced there's more to it. I'm not trying to be a jerk to you. Sorry. I'm convinced there's more to it. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'd say. Like, yeah, if you want to get good at songwriting, learn about theory, about harmony, about you know, melody and lyrics and all that kind of stuff, you know, and structure, and transcribe songs. Everything about music that you need to know, that you want to know about, is in the recordings. Everything. That's all they used to have, was that's it. It's recordings, right? Or just a performance or whatever. I'm talking about like recent history, not like, you know, centuries ago. Anyways, it's all in the recordings. So transcribing is like your number one. If you're a student, like a music student, transcribing is your number one ticket to knowing all the answers. That's it. You know, that's it. Transcribe. Okay, I think that's that. I think that's all I got. Cool. Awesome. Thank you guys. I'll catch you in the next video.